Interesting one today. We're heading off to Colchester, about half an hour's drive outside Nelson Mandela Bay, and we're going to go and check out a few homes where recent floodwater is apparently still lying up to knee deep in parts of residences. The story is that the municipality has promised to help pump the water out of these homes, but according to the residents who contacted us, nothing's happened yet. So check it out.
And this water looks like it. It's level with the dam's water. The dam's water is going nowhere. And if we go down to the other side to my house, the water is also so level like it. But you must have high roots to go in there. Water is lying on my back door and it's lying on my front door. And in my house is full of water.
Jana, you're one of the residents affected by the flooding here in the Colchester Sundays River Valley. You've been dealing with this for how many days now?
It's like 51 days, but the flooding in the house is like 3 weeks.
So it's not just outside, it's actually physically inside the house, inside your lounge, inside the rooms.
I've got photos to prove that.
And how deep is the water inside the house? Ankle deep? Knee deep? Give us an idea.
We've put everything on bricks, the furniture.
Talk me through the pump action that's happened here. Privately, some of the residents got together, they raised funds, and they got a private firm here with a pump to start pumping out water. Why is the water still here? What happened from that process?
A private individual that wasn't affected by this came and hired a pump from Northfield Engineering and paying the costs. And so when people heard about it, locals, they donated money at the BP garage for the fuel, and people also donated money directly to Northfield Engineering for the hire. The second day of pumping, as you can see the markers we've put out, the water subsided quite drastically. Then the third day, the municipality came and told Jan that he's not allowed to do that. But he also received a phone call from somebody on the other side that was saying they can take legal action because he's pumping the water to the river over their land. And so they took the pump back, and the municipality said they will bring their own pump. And then they brought a much smaller pump, and then they rerouted the pipe that was going through the culvert, which was also after the second day. Somebody went during the night and put in drums and sacks and closed off the culvert. And so the municipality, they rerouted the pipe into the land next to the dam, and then nothing happened.
Miriam, you're one of the residents whose homes have been affected by this water that's flooded the Sundays River in Colchester. What exactly is happening? Tell us the story. When did it happen? What are you dealing with at the moment?
Okay, what is going on at this moment is what has been going on since 1968. After each about 12 to 15 years, then the same thing happened again. This thing started in 68, whereby the council became aware of all this happenings.
All these houses that are here, they've been built with council approval. It's all been approved. Nothing is against.
That's my point. They approved, each and every one was approved to build here. Why did they approve it? Knowing in 68, maybe more, we don't know. In 68, this things was happening.
And you've had it every 10, 12, 15 years after that when there's a big rain?
After that, I think it's the first time that it happened now.
And what is the council's attitude? You've obviously contacted them about this. You've been dealing with it for more than 50 days that the water's been standing like this.
We never deal with the right people of the council. We deal with the people that is sent to come and pump the water out, to come and do this, come and do that.
But if they sent to pump the water out, why is the water still here?
Because they didn't do the job properly. That is why the water is still here. Now, it's a health hazard.
Sure. And what are you supposed to do now until the water just goes down naturally?
There's nothing we can do. We can only wait for the council to come.
Every resident we spoke to feels abandoned by the municipality, who they say have been conspicuous by their absence. Living conditions are clearly untenable, and they've no idea for how long they're expected to endure.
This is the road behind our house. This is where the water is infiltrating from into our property. And that runs directly down for the dam. If you look down that way, you can see the dam in the background over there where the ducks are swimming.
Having approved the plots for sale as residential properties and having approved the building plans for these homes, responsibility clearly lies on the municipality to assist and help resolve these issues.
So this is a friend of mine who was going to start a coffee shop over here, and their whole backyard going right back to over there underneath the shade cloths, etc., is now completely covered in water that is like thigh deep, if not deeper. And this is about as far as I can go. If I go down there, water starts going into my pool. So, and that is, like I said, 51 days of thing like this. Everybody's come to look. Every player has been here, but hasn't helped us. Water's gone down minimally, and this is still the situation.
Geraldine, it's an awful situation for Colchester residents. How long has this been going on for, and how long do you still anticipate having to deal with it?
It's been ongoing for over 51 days already. This property has been underwater for 51 days exactly today. They cannot get into their backyard to go and tidy up or clean because the water is how deep, up to here even. They've lost everything. They've lost everything. The same as lots of other people in this area, including ourselves. I don't think that it's going to happen overnight. I'm hoping that someone will bring a pump out here, municipality, whoever, it doesn't matter. We don't care who it is, as long as someone gets a pump down there into the water at the bottom in the dam, and they pump solidly for a week, because then the water problem will disappear. It'll then take about 6 months, they say, for the actual mud and draining and whatever to actually dry out so that you can actually do something with your yard again.
What's the reaction been like from the municipality so far? Have they been out to have a look? What have they said to you?
They've been out here to come and have a look. They offered us a pump 2 weeks ago. We're still waiting. We have heard nothing further.
Geraldine, a lot of people will say, why would people invest in properties that are below the flood line? How is it that you came to buy properties here and build here?
Well, quite frankly, none of us is really aware of this. It's in a 100-year flood line. But that was never stipulated to us in our title deeds. It was never discussed.
No one drew your attention to this?
Nobody drew our attention to it. Secondly, when we sent our plans in for approval at the municipality,
they approved it?
They approved it.
Well,
the only thing that happened was that the inspector came out and told us that our foundations, for instance, needed to be wider and deeper because we were building on clay. The groundwater is so high that underneath the DPC in my house, the water is still coming through into my house.
Tell us a bit about what's going on inside the houses.
Okay, so here we've got our sewage pit, which was supposed to be here, according to the municipality. That has overflowed now numerous times. We can't use the toilet. We need to go somewhere else if we want to go and do business. And this water that we walk through then every day 2 or 3 times is sewage water. This is all water that is stagnant. We've had people supposedly to come and spray for mosquitoes and stuff like that. They haven't been here. Interesting one, we actually realized the night before the water actually came in, and we started lifting our furniture onto bricks, upended bricks. We sleep on bricks in our bed. Everything is damp. There's water dripping down from the ceilings because of the humidity and the water, the water going up into the atmosphere. To here, that was the level of the water inside the house as well. So luckily, just before the water came in, we were able to pick up stuff that was still fairly shallow. As you can see, everything has been left like that. We haven't changed it. If you come into this room, you can see where the level of the water was. No, you can see where the level of the water was from here. And on the curtains, our fridge was underwater that we had on bricks, the washing machine. We can't wash because the piping is lower than the level of the water.
Okay.
We cannot get into our backyard to be able to hang stuff on a washing line because the water, I sunk into the mud up to my ankles yesterday when I went to go and feed my chickens. My husband has made little railroad places for them to walk on, bits of wood onto coffee tables, outside furniture and so on, so that the chickens have got somewhere that they can walk because they don't swim, they're not ducks. It's awful. It's awful for all of us.
If we could wave a magic wand right now, what would you like to see happen? What would be the solution from your point of view?
Just to get rid of the water. It's awful. I have to carry my dogs out in my arms to go and do their business at the top of my yard where it's dry. The biggest thing for us is, all of us, is to get rid of the water. We need a pump. We need a huge pump. And we need it to run 24/7. We're doing everything ourselves. We've been left alone for almost 10 days now. Not a single soul for any of the entities or any of the role players has actually been here. Not a phone call to say, are you okay? Do you need anything? Can we go and get you a loaf of bread at Spa? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.